What's up? Welcome back. Shout out to Fantasia, North Carolina. Stand up, North Carolina. It's gonna be a good day today. Welcome back. Tuesday. It's almost February. Let's get started in a sec. Here we go. Gotta start with a little music. Gotta start with a little music. Yeah, gotta start with a little music. What's going on, everybody? Good to be here today with you on Tuesday, celebrating Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King this week. But really, hopefully, we're celebrating him every day of the year. So instrumental and impactful in not only the United States of America, but across the globe. Very humbling to always spend time with his words, especially now having kids. So hopefully you've been able to start participating in some events, moments this week already, and hopefully you will continue to participate after this week is over, as well as take his words into your life as a lived expression of what he represents. Shelby, what's up, family? I see you still holding on to dog country, holding it down for y'all. Listen, they need to be paying you, Shelby. That's all I know. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you rep the dogs like none other. I appreciate your commitment to the Georgia Bulldogs. They represented this year, no doubt. A-Town, stand up, everybody from the A-Town. Yo, condolences to the lives lost as well. Georgia football players, Georgia staff member, even those who were injured. Just a somber and just horrible feeling, honestly, to see loss of life, but also for young people. Just want to send prayers out to their families and just be with them in their time of grief. Just want to definitely send prayers and lift them in our thoughts and prayers um, as we move forward throughout this week as well. Today, um, today I wanted to be with you to continue uh, our discussion from last week, as every week this year will consist of me sharing with you insights, quick insights about how we continue to serve in our authentic selves and no excuses. Uh, this is the year. Today, I want to talk about be where we stand. Being where we stand is something, or be where you stand. You may hear heard that way. Be where you stand is something that you may have heard before, really indicating that where you are is the most important place you can be. And if you can be in that place where you stand, then you can affect your life in a way that no one else can. So today I want to take a few minutes because we're making these engagements shorter, but more meaningful and hopefully more valuable to you. We got something new coming. I got something new dropping for you after this week, but I'm gonna leave that for another time. But today, again, we're gonna just talk about be where you stand. I think we all have personal experiences that shape us. That's what life is about. Personal experiences, lived experiences that shape us, that influence, who we are as people, how we show up in the world. And to me, one of the key elements of being shaped, being molded, similar to if you've ever, the Play-Doh, when we were younger, we would do Play-Doh. I don't know if the kids do Play-Doh anymore. I know my kids, they still do Play-Doh, but we used to take that Play-Doh and we would mold it and shape it and then we would get crafty with it. Sometimes we would put glitter on it or, we would put glue in it. We try to just do all types of things with it. And despite our efforts, unless you just did something crazy, despite our efforts, we could always get it back to its original form. To its original form. Well, the uniqueness about life and the human experience is that we are born a certain way, and then we're shaped over time, but still encompassing some of that originality. There's certain things about me. Then when I was 5 years old, literally, I can still, people still tell me, you still got that in you, right? But for the most part, you're being shaped, and life is happening. I talked a little, literally about how 22, life started lifing for me in 2022. I mean, really quickly, right? It started lifing for me. And I was like, man, this adulting thing, whoo. But what does that mean when we're being shaped? When we're constantly being shaped, where we're constantly growing? Frustrations are mount when we get stressed and we're going through things and we're learning things about ourselves and we're having to respond to all these outside experiences that are influencing our inside. What does it mean to be shaped? Well, I think what it means to be shaped is understanding how to literally take command of where you stand. Not control. Command. Command is a key word here. Take command of where you stand. Be where you stand. A few years back, I write about, actually, in my first book, there was a time years back, around 8 years ago, where I walked into my supervisor's office. And if you've ever had some beef with your supervisor, you had a moment where you had to walk into your supervisor's office and you had to literally, you were just on 10, but you really felt like you were on 15. And it felt like maybe even if sometimes you were on 20, like you were literally so heated that when you walked into your supervisor's office, you knew you were about to give him the business. And I knew at this moment I was going to give him the business. I couldn't control it. I was out of control. I wasn't in command at all. I was out of control. I was hot. I was mad. I was angry, and I was frustrated. I was all these things that bubbled up to a point to where I knew I was about to lose it, and I lost it anyway. Didn't have command. I didn't have command of the moment. I allowed something to happen within me. I allowed it to brew inside of me, and that's not the problem. Actually, allowing frustration and anger and hurt to brew inside you is not actually the problem. It's that I didn't know how to grab hold of it with command. I couldn't command where I stood. We've all been there. In that moment when I left that office that day, I write about how I knew I had lost my command. I had relinquished command. If you ever been in the military, or know anybody in the military, there's something about relinquishing command. It's not always a bad thing, but in many cases, if you have to relinquish command, something has happened. Something has happened, and more than likely, it's something that you possibly could have commanded. You could have had influence more so than not. That day I lost my command, I relinquished it, and I knew it. I wasn't where I stood. I want to share with you just one way this year that you can be where you stand without relinquishing command. I know typically we talk about, the 3 points or the 4 points or the 5 points to make sure that you can do X, Y, Z. Today is only one. Only one. Only one piece of advice that I want to share with you that will allow you to be where you stand. Because I'm going to tell you, no matter how great this year is going to be for you, because I know it will be great. Life is going to life this year. Life is going to life. It's going to do what it does. The reason why life is going to life is because we are not in control or command of anybody else. That's why life lives. That's why it does what it does. That's why the unknown happens. That's why the unspeakable happens. That's why the unthinkable happens. Life is going to life. I promise you that. And if we don't enter in each day, each and every day, with a full understanding and command of where we stand, we're going to relinquish it. And I don't want you to relinquish command this year. And it's not hard at all to do. What I'm about to share with you is not at all hard to do. I want you to say this. I want you to say this. I am. I'm going to say it again. I am. That's the answer. That's the answer to being where you stand. I am. What do you mean, Glenn, by I am? It sounds very catchy. It's short and sweet. But like, what do you mean I am? I like to tell people all the time, the questions you've been asking all your life, you are the answer. I am. I am, to me, is the easiest, most simplistic, most inspiring, most empowering way that you can step into every single day. And when life lives, you just say, I am. I am the answer to the question I've been asking all the while. I am. There's struggles where we go through, struggles that we have that press us into positions where we ask ourselves, why is this happening to me? And that's a human question, and I get it, and I understand it. Why is this happening to me? But when we have command of where we stand, not worrying about tomorrow, not concerned about what happened yesterday, but when we have command of where we stand, we don't ask, why is this happening to me? We posit to the universe, how can I take what has happened, translate it into something for the good? Life is going to life. I promise you that. But being concerned about what happened yesterday and being worried about what will happen tomorrow, something that you don't even know that will happen, will have you relinquishing command of your life. You know, when we talk about leadership development, people always, they come to me after we have our first engagement, our first conversation, and they say to me, I thought we were going to talk about leadership, and we ended up talking about life. And the reason why we speak on life first and foremost, because the reality of it is there is no leadership without understanding the way we live. When life begins to life, what kind of command do you have? Can you be where you stand? Can you be in the moment? The traumatic moment, the sad moment, the heartbreaking moment. Can you even be in the joyous moment? I used to have struggles with that. I used to, good things would happen in my life, and I would just say, okay, to the next. I wanted more. I wanted the next. I couldn't even be where I stood, even in joy. Couldn't understand why was I so hell-bent on moving and getting more and going to the next. I had no command. was living in a place of fear. And I submit to you that the nerves that we have, the stresses that we place on ourselves, wallowing and being concerned so heavily about what happened yesterday and even imagining what's about to happen next, it's killing us. It literally is killing us. I want us to channel being where we stand, having a command of where you stand by just saying, I am. I am the answer. I get it. I've been there. The repo man calling you. The repo man's on my door. I mean, he was on my door. He's been there. I know. Like I can feel his presence. He's coming to get the car. I can't pay the car note. Foreclosure notices. I've been there. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna tell you the business. The reality of it is, a couple of mortgages late. You're gonna get a notice, and the stress builds up, and the anxiety builds up, and we do crazy things when we get stressed, and we respond to stress in unique ways. Everybody's not the same, but what we can say for sure is stress is real, and stress does kill. But even in those moments when the foreclosure notices would come, can you be where you stand in the moment and answer in a loud, resounding voice, I am. I am the answer. I know that the notice is coming. I am. I know that my relationships are struggling. My friendships, I'm not present like I should be, but I am. My marriage is suffering. I'm 1 foot out the door and I'm struggling to find a way. I am. I am. The job just doesn't feel good anymore to me. I really don't want to be here, but I have to be here. I have to pay the bills. I have to feed myself. I have responsibilities. It's not what I signed up for, but I am. I am the answer to the question. I have the answer. And it may not be the answer that the world suggests I have. It may not be the answer that practical thought would say I would have. It may not be the answer that most people would have, but I am in control of my thoughts. And so, therefore, I am in control of my actions. I am the answer. In order to be where we stand, to have command of where we stand, to not relinquish our command, we must enter into the moments of our lives with a full understanding that I am. Indeed, we are the answers to the questions that we have. And there are some uncontrollable things that are going to happen in life. A whole lot of things that happen in life are uncontrollable. But if you ever read the poem Attitude, you know that life is 90%, right? 90% how you respond. 90% of how you respond, only 10% of what happens to you. It's 90%. Yeah, 90%. Life is really about how you respond. What's your attitude? Are you where you stand? Do you have command? And so when we think about stress, when we think about the uncontrollable, when we think about the things that are before us, when we think about the experiences that we're having every single day as life is going to life, it's going to do what it's going to do. What do you have command of? Do you have command of where you stand? Do you have command of your thoughts and your behaviors and your actions? Do you have a command, or are you, like so many of us have, spinning out of control? Trying to solve a problem with the mind and the heart that's not in coherent alignment? Do you have a command? In order to be where we stand, I want you to just say, I am. I just want you to practice it. Even right now, where you stand right now, I just want you to say, I am out loud. Just say, I am. I am. And I want you to practice every time you have a negative thought, every time somebody does something to you that just makes you a little upset, pisses you off. You know what I'm talking about. Every time you're in a position where you really want to say, to hell with this, every time that you literally feel as though you're about to lose your good for loving mind, I want you to just stop and just say, I am. I am. Oh man, the money is funny. I am. The bank account looking shaky. I am. The relationship is trying my nerves. I am. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know what's coming next, but I am. I want you to say it. I want you to empower yourself with the two most powerful words that you can actually use in the language. When you encounter the day, when you encounter the unknown, when you encounter the uncontrollable, when you encounter the uncomfortable, I want you to be where you stand and own it and just exclaim, I am. You are the answer to the question you've been asking. You. Period. That's it. And when we enter the day with I am, I promise you, I commit to you that it will change the dynamic of how you think. It will change the dynamic of how you feel. Because of that, it will actually affect those around you. Because you will enter into every circumstance with the mindset of I am. There are no excuses that I need to render. There are no rationales behind blaming. The fullness of my presence will actually be represented and reflected in my understanding and commitment to be where I stand, to have a command of where I stand. I won't relinquish it for anyone because I know that I am. I hope this message places you in a mindset and a heart set of no excuses this year. We're gonna have some life and moments this year. That's a fact. You're gonna have times where we're gonna actually say, you know what, I just want to be sad right now. That's okay. That's a fact. You're gonna have moments where you're going to feel as though the world is against you, but I want you to understand fully that life is going to life. That's 100% true and factual. And if you understand that, you can embrace life with I am. That's it this year. I am. Every day, I am. Glenn, we got a problem. Okay, I am. Glenn, oh man, things going a little left. That's all right. That's all right. Oh man, I'm upset about it. I am a little upset about it, but I am. We're going to figure this thing out. I know this is going to be your year. I know that it may sound simple, just 2 words, but I promise you, if you can use them and use them with fervor, that you're going to have an amazing year. E. Dykes, thanks for joining, brother. Always, Shelby, thank you for joining. Prayers up to the families of those lost lives at University of Georgia. Prayers up to everyone. This is going to be an awesome week for you. I thank you for always joining. Thank you for always sharing. Remember to be where you stand and to affirm for yourself that I am. We see you next Tuesday. We got a great talk next Tuesday. Can't wait to see you there. Take care.